Hello everyone. This is Pavayaram, and I'll be giving a talk on disabling drones, disruption, and forensics analysis. Firstly, I'll give you a quick overview of myself. I recently completed my MSc in cybersecurity engineering from University of Warwick, and I love threat hunting and red teaming. I always think like a good threat hunter should also be an excellent red teamer and vice versa. Hence, I do both. And this is my website. It's a Linux terminal themed website which I built from scratch. Please do check it. I have written cool cybersecurity blogs there as well. I have multiple cybersecurity certifications, like ranging from pen testing certifications, red teaming certification, and also like recently I also passed Hackdbox's CDSA, which is a defensive certification, and I have also completed multiple prolabs from Hackdbox. And apart from this, I also actively participate in like CTF challenges, and I have won numerous CTF challenges. And currently, I'm pursuing OSEP. So, a quick overview of what I'll be going through in this talk. So, firstly, I'll be covering the overall goal of the talk, and secondly, I'll be going through what is a drone and what drone I chose for my research and why. And finally, the juicy part, which is the attacking the drone and detecting the attack itself. Yeah, okay. So the overall goal of the talk is to cover various attacks that can be performed on Parrot AR 2.0 drone model, and also to detect those attacks. I have done 8 attacks on total on the drone, but I'll be going through only 5 of those attacks since I have been allocated only 15 minutes. So what are drones? So drones are small aircrafts which do not require human pilot. So there are 2 types of drone communication, which is command and non-payload communication and payload communication. So the drone model which I chose uses command and non-payload communication. So command and non-payload communication actually uses something called C2 link. So C2 link is basically a communication link between the controller of the drone and the drone itself, and it enables communication between the controller and the drone. The controller could be a laptop or a mobile phone, and the communication link could be a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth or something like that. So in the case of Parrot AR 2.0 drone model, the communication link is a Wi-Fi. That too, it's an open Wi-Fi, hence it's very vulnerable. So the drone model I chose for my research is Parrot AR 2.0 drone model, and I chose this particular drone model for my research because it is open source, and it also has an open Wi-Fi which is vulnerable to numerous Wi-Fi based attacks, and it also has open ports. For example, it has FTP port open, where you could which allows anonymous login. So you could basically upload any file and also delete files. And also telnet port is open, and this particular telnet port allows root login without any authentication. So anyone could actually get root access in the telnet port. So Parrot AR 2.0 drone model is developed by a French company called Parrot, and in order to connect to the drone, you have to connect to the open Wi-Fi of the drone, and to do this you could use a mobile phone, and you have to use an application called AR Free Flight 2.0, a mobile application, and you can also use a laptop to connect to the drone. And in this case, you will be using a Node.js script or a Python script to control the drone. So when I used a laptop to control the drone, this is the Node.js script I used to control the drone. So now jumping into the attacks, the first attack I performed on the drone is a deauthentication attack using AirCrack-NG. So a deauthentication attack exploits the deauthentication protocol of Wi-Fi, and in this particular attack, the attacker sends deauthentication frames to the clients or to all the clients connected to a particular access point, and successfully disconnects all the clients connected to the particular access point. So in this case, I used AirCrack-NG and I targeted the drone's open Wi-Fi. I disconnected the user who was connected to it. So these are the commands I used for the attack. And so like when I disconnected the user from the drone's Wi-Fi, the user was unable to control the drone, but the drone itself remained in the air without falling down. And this is because Parrot AR 2.0 drone model has something called autopilot mode, and this helped the drone to stay in air. So in this picture, you could see that my laptop got disconnected from Wi-Fi. So to detect this attack, I used Wireshark, and I detected the deauthentication frames sent by the attacker to the drone. And here you could see that it's the source is Parrot AR 2.0 drone. This is because the attacker actually impersonates the drone and sends these frames to the clients connected to the drone, and that's why you could see the source address to be Parrot AR 2.0 drone model, but it's actually the attacker. So the second attack I performed on the drone is deauthentication attack as well, but for this I used ESP32 microcontroller. So this I used Marauder toolset. So this basically enables to use the microcontroller's network interface card in monitor mode, and so I can perform various Wi-Fi based attack. And in this case, I performed deauthentication attack, and I used the microcontroller to send the deauthentication frames to the clients connected to the drone, and I successfully disconnected the user from the drone. So these are the commands I used to perform this attack. And in this case also, the drone remained in the air, but the user was not able to control the drone or connect to the drone and control it, because deauthentication frames will be continuously sent by the attacker, and hence the user cannot connect back to the drone. So you could see, and also another thing is that in the user's mobile application, you could see that control link not available will be displayed because the user is got disconnected from the drone, and this is the error message which shows when a user gets disconnected from the drone. And to detect this attack, I used Wireshark, like a similar detection method which I used for attack 1. So for the third attack is powering of the drone attack, and for this I exploited two vulnerabilities. So one is, as I mentioned earlier, the drone has an open telnet port which allows root access without any kind of authentication like a password. So you could basically connect to the telnet port of the drone without any kind of username or password. So, and you could access the binaries of the drone. So this drone has a inbuilt binary called power off, which will shut down the drone immediately. So I, as an attacker, connected to the telnet of the drone, and I successfully implemented this power off command and powered off the drone. And I also impersonated to be the attacker, and I also connected via another phone to the drone. So these are the commands I implemented to perform this attack. So this is a video demonstration of the attack. So as you could see, the drone is flying, and when I implemented the power off command, it fell from the air immediately. So to detect this attack, actually the drone has so the drone stores all the connected device information in a location called data custom.configs and profiles. And here you could see that the device of the legitimate user, which is Xiaomi Poco F1, and the attacker's device, which actually connected to the telnet and powered off the drone and later connected from a mobile phone. So the fourth attack is a video stealing attack. So Parrot AR 2.0 drone model also has a camera which continuously records videos and sends it back to the user's mobile application. So in this particular attack, I used a tool to intercept this video transfer, and I stole the video from the drone, and the video was not sent back to the user. So for this attack, I used a tool called FF Play, and as you could see that a video image. So this video is actually the stolen video from the drone, and like in the legitimate user's mobile application, he gets an error called like video connection alert, and finally he also loses the feed of the drone. So to detect this attack, I actually once I completed this attack, I went to the drone, the mobile's drone video storage location, and I checked what the video actually recorded. It was totally glitched, which indicates something fishy happened. So you could actually detect this attack by checking the videos recorded by the drone. So the final attack is the man-in-the-middle attack, and in this attack I used ARP spoofing to redirect the traffic from the user connected to the drone to the attacker, which is myself. And so this attack I just thought it's basically just redirection of traffic. So instead of user sending the traffic directly to the drone, I actually send it through myself to the drone. I thought this attack won't do anything, but unexpectedly it actually firstly it cut off the video feed sent by the drone to the user, and secondly it also disconnected the user from the drone, which is very unexpected. So for the detection of this attack, I used TCP dump, and I actually captured all the ARP spoof packets. So finally, for future work, so due to financial constraints, I was unable to do advanced attacks such as GPS spoofing and signal jamming. And also, based on my findings, one could also automate all these attacks and detections. And finally, this research can be expanded to other drone models such as even DJI drones. So thanks everyone for coming here, and thanks BSide for giving me this opportunity. So any questions? Yes.
Who'd like to go first?
Do you know why the drone is so insecure?
Yeah. The drone is so insecure because it has an open Wi-Fi. So basically anyone could connect to the drone without any password. So even anyone nearby could simply connect to the Wi-Fi of the drone and could control it. That's why it's very insecure. So I have actually read some research papers on the drone, and some people suggested that the Wi-Fi should not be open and it should have some kind of authentication. Any other questions? Yeah.
Go on over there.
So you mentioned that the drone is open source. Have you looked at firmware as the firmware open source? Did you find any interesting stuff in there maybe?
Actually, I didn't actually research about it. But yeah, that could also be one of the future works. Yeah. Actually, this particular vulnerability is there only in Parrot AR 2.0 drone model, and maybe one of the DJI drone model, but the latest versions usually don't have an open Wi-Fi or something. They usually have a RF method to connect to the drone. So yeah, that also has its own vulnerability. You could do some kind of jamming attacks, etc. But yeah. Oh yeah, in this particular attack actually, I actually as an attacker powered up the drone remotely, and I also like connected back to the drone and I switched it on, like using my mobile phone again in this attack. So you could connect to the drone and you could just like for example in this attack, like as an attacker, I first shut down the drone and it fell from the air, and after that I just took a mobile phone and I connected to the drone's Wi-Fi and I flew it back again, and I took complete like control of the drone again. Yeah, that's it. Like anyone else?
We're going to have one more question.
questions?
If anyone would like one. If not, warm round of applause.
Thank you.